There was nothing that perplexed me and frustrated me more when I was looking into jumping in to the online space, making money online, utilizing my talents, my gifts, my passions, all the stuff that I teach millions of people now. And I would be watching what other people are doing. I would buy this course. I'd sign up for this webinar. I would read this book. And I was taking in all this information, thinking if I learned this one more thing or understood this one trick or listened to this next person, that it would finally all click. But all it did was make me more confused, more overwhelmed, and delayed me from actually taking action and truly starting the thing. I mean, I wasted years of time because of all of this information overload. And the reality is, you don't need more information. You need implementation of a very small amount of straightforward and simple information. You don't need to take in more. You actually need to get into action more. And then I know you're going, well, I'm not really sure what it is I need to take to grow to my next level or to even start, Tiffany. Well, that's why I created this episode. And this is going to probably upset some people in the industry, particularly people in the coaching industry and people who make money teaching you how to make money online, whether it's affiliate marketing, network marketing, all these different varieties that people are doing. But we got to get beyond the hype if you want to make the big money. And I'm going to share with you today what no one is telling you about making money online. If you're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk, you've come to the right show. Welcome to Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multimillionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash-making advice. Now let's get to it. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your abundance, your relationships, and everything in between. Well, in less than 24 hours, it's happening, folks. The guided workbook course, and if you're watching right now on ProjectME TV, I'm doing a dramatic cup hold of my Make More, Work Less guided workbook course. We're doing a cheers here, virtual cheers on I almost said TikTok, on YouTube. I'm excited. I'm terrified. I'm feeling vulnerable, eager. There's about 25 other emotions in there for this. This is long awaited. I am excited for you guys to experience this. And we're doing a limited release. So my Make More Work Less guided workbook course is dropping tomorrow. The first 200 people get $200 off. So to get first dibs, you need to be on my free Secret Posse weekly digest list. And you want first dibs because obviously 200 off is legit. And that is in the show notes or in the description on YouTube. So you can swipe up for that or go to projectmewithtiffany.com/secret posse. But it's dropping and it's popping on Tuesday, November 7th. I thought that was a great day. Lucky numbers, 11-7. I'm here for it. And what this course is designed to do is to change and transform your money story from one of lack, from one of settling, from one of sacrifice to one of abundance, to one of ease, to one of hell yes, lifestyle changing cash in less than 7 days. So this isn't some like generic workbook that's like 7 pages that someone just, randomly made over a cup of coffee for a half an hour. This has been months in the making. There's over 70 pages. There's 5 videos that go along with it and guiding you through. I am someone, and I know that many of you are similar. And let me know here in the comments on ProjectME TV on YouTube, because you guys can comment along with the show, which I know helps you learn and integrate the lessons. And it's a lot more fun anyway. I mean, I know a lot of you listen to me in the shower, and that would be a little difficult probably to type while in the shower. Although I did do it the other day, but I noticed if your screen is wet or your fingers are wet, it does not go well. But I'm sure they will figure that out soon, which is kind of disturbing. I really shouldn't be typing in the shower. This doesn't sound like a safe activity. And is there anything that's that important? I think when I end up typing is I get like really great ideas in the shower, which I teach you guys, right? When we are in a relaxed state, when our parasympathetic nervous system is relaxed, that's when our creativity is ignited, which is why some of you get a lot of ideas right before you go to bed at night, or when you're on vacation, or when you're wine buzzed. And I try to write it down, and it's like, why am I even doing this? Like, it can wait. We'll be okay. The problem I noticed with a lot of self-paced programs is, one, they're not fun. Therefore, you don't finish it, because we're only going to do things that feel fun and exciting for us to do. So what I envisioned, which has now come to life, which is so incredible, is creating an adult activity book. Remember when you were a kid and you were given like the Lisa Frank books or some kind of an adult activity book? Could have been Ninja Turtles or whatever, like, especially if you went out to dinner with your family and they weren't giving you technology or anything like that, or there wasn't technology to give. I wanted to create that sense of fun while you're doing this, because we get to have a great amount of fun while learning how to make major money, while making these shifts from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. And now you're getting both worlds. You're getting the tangible, because this is a printable workbook. You can go take it to some kind of like an office supply store or something like that and have it printed professionally and bound. And that's really not that much money. You can print it at your at-home printer. Or you can look at it digitally and use a separate journal for the writing exercises if you want. I would much rather you print out this workbook, and you'll see why. We've also included the audios. Everyone learns differently. And so many of you are multitaskers. And it's like, I want you to have multiple touch points. You're listening, you're watching, you're coloring, you're drawing, you're writing, you're integrating. Because when we involve all of our senses, that's when our cells change. That's when we really can create like new neural pathways much faster. And I was giving this analogy the other day to one of my clients, because she's, oh my God, now it's worked. Like, how is all of this flowing all of a sudden? And then I was on a call with you and nothing was coming out and I couldn't answer any of your questions. And I said, it's like when you hand a jar to someone that you've been trying to open and you can't open it. And then they open it in like a second and you're like, what the hell? But it's because you've already primed it. You've already worked it and they just did the final touch. And that is what we're doing in this Make More Work Less guided workbook course. Is I'm priming you, and then it's going to start to really flow when you're doing the exercises. And if you truly follow what I say, without a doubt, you're going to see radical changes in your money story, in how you think, in what you attract, in what you believe, in your perspectives on things in less than 7 days. So make sure you get on the list so you can be one of the first 200 people on that. And if you're someone who did participate in the giveaway that we did for leaving a written 5-star review of the show, all of the emails with your free copy are going to be going out by November 7th. So if for whatever reason you don't have it, then you're going to need to email us and say, hey, I didn't get it. but make sure you check your spam folder first because so much stuff ends up in there and we can save a lot of time for each other by just checking that. So I'm going to be on a little bit of a tangent today. I just want to give you a heads up on that. Okay. This is when I can go on a tiff rant and it's for your greatest good. I find it so frustrating. And this is truly why I joined the online space. Yes, I saw that it was, somewhere where you could make a great deal of money wearing a bathrobe. Yes, I saw the potential. Yes, I saw the possibility. Yes, I knew I had the skill sets, all these things. But did I have to? No, I already had and still have an 8-figure business that I've had now for 16 years. I didn't have to do this. But what made me get in this space is I was pissed off. I was so pissed and annoyed seeing how many of these entrepreneur people and even scammy people who are making it sound like it's so easy. You can make your first $10,000 in less than 30 days, and you just need to do this and da 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 da. And then people go to try all these things, and it doesn't work for them in that way. It's not clicking. No one is buying. They've invested time, energy, and money. And then what most people do, and you might be in this spot right now, regardless of where you're at in your business, right? You could be making a good deal of money and still be in this spot because you're looking at other people where you aspire to be where they're at. I could be one of them. And you're like, why isn't this happening for me? Why is it taking so long? Why is it so hard? What am I missing? Why am I've built a whole course and I've put it out there and almost no one is buying. I've created freebies to build my email list and people are just trickling in. Almost no one is signing up. I feel like I'm talking about all of my stuff and my programs and my offers and my products incessantly. And I'm either no one's buying or no one's buying on some big level, or you feel like all you're doing is trading time for money and nothing's working with your passive offers. Bottom line is, it's not feeling that easy for you and you're wondering what's going on. Well, first of all, I need you to hear this. I try to be very careful about the word easy. There's a big difference between the word ease and easy. I like saying ease. We can do things in a flow. We can do things that are simple. We can do things with ease. We don't need to hustle, force, push, panic, and operate in that way. Okay. I used to operate most of my life in that way. It doesn't end well. All right. We don't need to do that. There is a much easier way, but never once have I said, this shit's easy. Like you just sit back, chill, work an hour a day, and all this money comes in. What a lot of people do online as their form of manipulative marketing in order to get you to buy from them, in order to get you to follow them, in order for you to have the feeling of, oh, this person must know a secret. They must have some special backdoor way. They must have a special trick of why they've grown their following by thousands of people a week when they're making all of this money just recommending products and having fun doing it. They must know something that Tiffany doesn't know. They must know something that so-and-so doesn't know. They must know something that I don't know. So I'm going to buy another program. I'm going to do another thing. I'm going to hire another person. It's not that. This is what it is. And if by the end of this episode, you might decide, hey, making money online might not be a good fit for me in this way. And that's okay, because there's about a gazillion other ways for you to make life-changing cash and have fun doing it and feel really good about it. But I want you to have the informed, educated decisions if this is for you. First thing is this. I don't care if you have the best invention on the planet. I don't care if someone handed you a box of beautiful bracelets and they're like, hey, I am closing my jewelry store. I'm going to gift you these 50 bracelets. You can resell them. You can do whatever you want with them. And they're on trend and they're high quality and they're already in a box. Someone could hand you all of those. And just because you have those and you already have the product, it's already cute, it's already done, that doesn't mean you're going to be able to sell them unless you know how to market them, unless you know how to create messaging around them, unless you know how to sell. That's the part they leave out. Absolutely. You could make a fortune selling candles. I have clients that are making a fortune selling paid printables and stickers on Etsy. I have clients who are making a ton of money selling resale type products like lip glosses, eyelash serum on TikTok Shop. I have clients who are making a ton of money teaching other estheticians how to grow their esthetician business, coaches, yoga instructors, healers, practitioners, physicians. I can go on and on. I have every possible variety. That's wonderful. But you can be amazing at what you do. You can be the best in the business. You can have an incredible product. You can even have something that's at like an amazing price point. But if you do not know how to market your business, you will fail. I don't care if it's an Airbnb that you're doing. You won't be able to get the rentals, or you won't be able to get the rental dollar amount or the consistency or the volume of rentals. It does not matter. But that's not sexy to tell someone that. And it's a skill you have to learn. It's not an overnight thing. It's something that you get better and better at with time. There's a reason my signature program that I launch once a year, Selling with Soul, always is full and people rave about it, is because I'm teaching you how to sell in a way that feels good to you and good to your ideal client. And then people start making money. It's not a 1 week program. It's not a 1 hour course. It's not a self-paced thing. It's a 6 week thing. This is a skill that you want to hone and get better and better at over time. And what's so great about this skill is this is one that pays off for the rest of your life. This is one that the better you get at it, which you get better and better at it every single day, you see a direct correlation in your bank account without a doubt, like guaranteed. And that's something I would guarantee. There's no way you can't. Think of the products that we all laugh about, that we've seen on late night infomercials or even QVC, like the Snuggie back in the day, the shake weight that I joke about, and which I've bought both. Let's even look at like Sponge Daddy. It's a fucking circular sponge with holes cut out in it. Okay. This is like costs like 10 cents probably to make each one. It wouldn't matter if you invented the Sponge Daddy and you have a gazillion of them at your house. If you didn't market that and get visibility on it. So there's two components to it. Number one, you've got to have visibility. If you don't have eyes on your stuff, eyes on your service, eyes on your personal brand, eyes on your product, people don't know it exists. Right? Like you could have a great coffee shop. There's a new coffee shop that's walking distance from me that is so great. It's like craft coffee, really unique combos and flavors. The people are super nice and they're terrible at marketing it. And if they don't step it up, I don't know how they're going to pay their rent in this expensive town. It doesn't matter, right? Word of mouth is nice. Referrals are nice, but that should be your gravy. That's the sprinkles on the top. We don't want, that's something you're leaving to chance. We don't want to leave word of mouth to chance. It's like when they say in like network marketing and stuff like, oh, friends and family. And I cringe. Never sell to your friends and family. Your friends and family don't want to pay you. They don't value you in that way. Because they're friends and family. They kind of, I'm like, I talk to this bitch all the time. I should get it for free. They might like, throw you a bone for support, but those aren't, you're not going to get wealthy and have life-changing cash on friends and family. That's sprinkles. That's gravy. That's nice to have. I don't care about that stuff. So we've got to have visibility. More eyes on your stuff, the better. Look at what big brands do. and this is one of the big differences in learning from me, is that I work with multi-billion dollar brands for my other business. So I bring these high level, proven marketing and sales strategies from the big brands. I massage and finesse them so that we can apply them to small business owners so that they work on a much obviously lower budget, right? Because when you can throw a ton of money at something, you can make someone famous with a ton of money. You can make someone who really wasn't that attractive super attractive with a ton of money. I almost named a couple celebs that have done that, but that probably wouldn't have been nice of me. So I stopped myself. I mean, have you seen some of this amazing plastic surgery and you look at the before and afters, you're like, oh shit, money can give you a really big glow up. Okay. Like I wish I have to find pictures of me. I mean, I'm sure they're in some tub somewhere when we used to actually use actual digital cameras and then you would go and like take them to get printed out. How I looked when I didn't make that much money. And then as I started making more and more money, I definitely got cuter. And it didn't matter that I was getting older. It didn't even matter if there were phases where I was fatter. I was still way more attractive. And you know what I'm talking about, okay? You can get facials, you're eating better, you have higher quality alcohol and perhaps some drugs. You get those teeth whitened. You have a better esthetician. There's a lot of things that go on. So you want to have visibility. Hello, Super Bowl ads. Look at the ads for the World Cup. There's a reason they're so expensive because it equals high visibility. High visibility, when you pair it with great marketing, equals major sales. But if you leave out a component of that equation, it's not going to happen. High visibility with crap messaging, people aren't buying the Sponge Daddy. Right. High visibility with the shake weight without great messaging, without a great marketing plan, people aren't going to buy it. They'll see it. And I know that's where a lot of you are. Is I know a lot of people are seeing my stuff. I can see it, or a good amount of people are seeing it. People are even opening my emails. I have a great open rate and I should have more people buying. And I'm sure you even know, like, hey, my shit's pretty good. I'm pretty good at what I do. Like it doesn't make sense. And then you see other people in your industry where you're like, they're not as talented, they're not as heartfelt, they're not as genuine, they're not as advanced maybe as you are at something or skilled at something, yet they seem to be raking in that cash. I can tell you right now, it's either they have more visibility or they have better marketing going on, or they have a combo of both. And when people in my ProjectME Posse business coaching membership come in there and they're like, oh, I did this, I spent all this money on ads, I hired an ad agency and I literally made almost nothing, I didn't make anything, right? Like I spent all this money and have nothing to show for it. And I was like, don't fucking do ads unless you have proven organic messaging and marketing that converts. God, if you guys take nothing away from this episode, listen to me. You have to have stuff that's proven to convert in your organic content and your organic messaging and your organic videos and your organic emails and your organic posts. And then once you know you have that messaging down, then you pay for increased visibility. But just paying for visibility without having the messaging, the sales messaging, the emotional based sales techniques that I'm so well known for infused in there, it's not going to connect because trust is sales. People have to trust you. They have to lean in. They have to feel something in order to buy it. And the problem is most people are going surface. Oh, I'm selling you this bracelet and it's made of 14 karat gold and you can shower with it and it's da da da. And look at this design and this detail. And we give you free shipping. And that's all nice. I'm not saying you don't include some of those things, but that's not why someone buys. Someone doesn't buy your special mindset coaching program or your fitness program or your app or your course or whatever. There's a gazillion others that are out there. When they're buying it, it is because there is an emotional connection to you and your brand, and your product, whether it's digital or physical, is the vehicle to help the person get closer to their core desire. But if your messaging is not on point and speaking right to that person in a way that is sincere and genuine and hits it right here for somebody, they ain't buying. Or it's going to take you a long time to convert them in order for you to see that. And you're not going deep enough. All right. And this is something we cover in my Posse membership at depth, because we cover things that make you money. Because if you're not prioritizing getting fresh cash in your business, you don't have a business. You know what you have? You have a jobby, a time and energy sucking hobby. And then you end up frustrated. Then you end up quitting because that doesn't feel good. And that's why it's designed to take you from $0 to $15,000 months in there. We got to focus on revenue. And then we have to pair that with, right, what is your net? What are you making after the taxes, the credit card transaction fees, and any of your expenses? So this truth about making money online, it's not about having this 87 module course. It's not even about having this incredible book that you wrote, this wonderful masterclass. That's lovely. That's important. Of course, you're going to make sure you have a great service offering or product or retreat or whatever it is. We've got to have people to sell to. And I know I probably sound like I'm yelling. It's 11:11 right now, by the way, as I'm saying this. So this means at this point is extra important. These people doing this master resale rights thing, and I'm not against it, okay? It's basically a form of affiliate marketing, network marketing, selling products that you didn't invent, right? Like reselling products and making a commission off them on TikTok Shop or whatever. All of that, people make it look very easy. Some people will say, oh my God, in 2 weeks, I've gotten all these sales. I'm not saying there aren't some atypical results. Don't you guys remember in the infomercial phase? And in some areas, there's still infomercials going on. There's not as much that I notice here in LA. Most of them you'll see them on like YouTube and stuff like that now. You will see in the bottom in fine print, results are not typical, especially with like health and weight loss stuff. All right. Same that people are showing the atypical results. There's always a unicorn. There's always someone who blew the fuck up on Instagram in 3 weeks because they happen to have something go viral. All right. That is not typical. And then these people then try to monetize off that, but they're an accidental entrepreneur. They have no idea how they sold 8 gazillion lip glosses. They have no idea how they went viral. They fell on it. It just happened. And so therefore they can't teach you a proven way that they've done with many clients to where it can be replicated and it can be applied and work for you. The problem is you can buy the master resale rights thing. You can join a network marketing company. You can have some widget to sell or service to sell. But if you don't have an audience to sell it to, you ain't going to make cash, sweetie. Unless for some reason you are a master whiz at Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Google ads, and you really understand the ads game and you really understand marketing messaging and you know how to be eye-catching and compelling and you're doing a pure ad play starting from scratch. But let me tell you, there's almost no one that does that. You would have to hire someone at my level with my degree of copywriting, of visual branding, of creative elements. And that's what I do in my other business. And that is very expensive. That's why I work with giant brands. And my guess is you're not at that spot. And I'm not saying all this to like deter you and make it seem like this is like a giant mountain to climb up. I just don't want to see you quitting because you're wondering why no one's buying. You don't have enough people to sell to. So you're starting by wanting these passive income products. Oh, I just want to sell this master resale rights thing. I just want to sell this ebook. I just want to sell this course. And I don't want to have to trade any more time for money. Unless you have a built up audience, you are not going to be happy with the revenue coming in from those things because they're relatively low ticket, because there isn't much of you involved, right? You're not doing a service for someone. You are not actively coaching them live. You're not teaching them something live. You're not doing their social media content for them. You're not doing their accounting services, their legal services for them. You're not doing treatment protocols for them, etc. There's nothing that's customized. That's where the big money is. And when you start out, you need to start out with high ticket stuff because you don't have as many customers to buy from you. And then as your audience grows, as you nurture and grow this audience of ideal clients, you will hit a point where it makes sense for you to do some sort of a group element, a membership element, and then a passive element. You will get to a point where it makes sense, but it's not going to you're not going to make enough money in the beginning off of that stuff. You're just not. If you really notice the people who are going heavy on going, oh, creating courses changed my life and selling courses, look at their audience size. Dead ass. And then some of the stuff you can't see. We don't know what their email list size is. And then there's other stuff that people don't share. Some of them have friends that were either ahead of them in the industry, in the online space, and they're leveraging other people's audiences. I started from scratch. I didn't know one other podcaster, one other person doing this. I didn't have anyone else's audience to leverage off from. Some people have that, but then they don't disclose that. So they're getting a lot of cross-pollination from other people's audiences, which helps build their audience faster. And I'm not shaming them. Like, everyone has a leg up. I just don't want to see you comparing yourself to something that doesn't make sense, like where it's apples to oranges. Let's not do that. But there's a ton of money to be made here. Okay. If you really put in, let's just say, I don't know, 25, 30 hours a week, you dedicate to actually implementing and doing the things I teach inside my Posse membership, like less is more. Hence why I have my guided workbook course coming out tomorrow. Make more and work less. Less is more. You don't need 1,000 different offers. In fact, that does the opposite. You don't need to do 1,000 pieces of content all the time. Less is more. It's quality and strategic. And my new line I'm going to keep saying is, the deeper you go, the dollars will flow. Most of you are too surface with your stuff. It's too generic. You're almost kind of low key, like copying or emulating other people in your space. Well, they say this and they kind of do posts about this and they do videos about this and they do messaging about this. And that seems to be working for them. So I'll do a version of it. And then it's falling flat and it's not working. First of all, you don't know for sure if it's working for them. Maybe you do. But if it's not you, it's not going to connect. People can vibe energy. People can feel when something's phoned in. You can feel that. The reason you're even listening to this podcast, while you're subscribed to this podcast, while you listen to my stuff, is there's nothing that's phoned in. You know what you're going to get. You know what you're going to get when you come in, right? You know what you're going to get when you watch, when you listen, when you buy, when you follow from me. And it's the straight up sauce. And I can without a doubt promise you, if you dedicate, even if you did 20 hours a week, it's not even about hours of time, but I know you kind of want to know that. Let's just say you give me 15 to 20 hours a week, but you're focusing on this straightforward things that I want you to focus on. Even if you have 1 to 2 offers and you're focusing on visibility, so audience growth of ideal clients and improving your messaging and your marketing and your sales skills and creating that profitable content over and over and over again with consistency, with heart, with passion, with delight, I would feel very comfortable saying, like, you could in 2 years easily, in 2 years, and you go, 2 years is a long time. No, it's not. In 2 years, you could be at $1 million a year, conservatively working part-time. I can say that because that's the truth for me, but not just me. Hundreds and hundreds, even thousands of people who I've coached. I've seen it over and over again. People like to ask me who's successful at it, who seems to be more successful. It's the people who invest, who have the accountability, who show up, who are serious about it, who truly believe it's possible, and have help managing all the hard days in between where it feels like it isn't working and continue to go, I trust that this is going to work. I need to keep showing up. It will work. It will pay off. Because are you willing to invest this time now where you're not getting the instant gratification necessarily? And you're willing to invest in that now, knowing what's happening in a very short period of time. And it doesn't have to take 2 years. I'm just talking about big money. But show up until it works, not if it's going to work. It's a very different energy that goes on within that space. But you continuing to watch what other people do, reverse engineer this, throw spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. I guess I'll try this. So no one bought this. I'll try this. No one's really liking my content. I'm going to do this. What you are zigzagging so fast that nothing can stick. Tell me this. Do you see on ads, whether it's online, on TV, whatever, do you see commercials for big brands where they're constantly changing the commercial? No, you do not. They put a lot of deliberate thought, psychology, copywriting, many people involved in the process, creativity. Then they work within their budget and finding the specific times that their ideal clients are online or watching specific shows. And they run that ad and they run that ad and they run that ad over and over and over again. And then the payoff happens. You're not allowing enough touch points, enough time for people to see it, for people to see it, for people to see it, for it to convert, because you're making up a story in your head that it must not be working because I don't have it in the timing that my ego wants. It's not working fast enough for me and this is uncomfortable. So I must be doing something wrong. Not necessarily. Now, you also could be doing something wrong. I don't know. I would have to see your business. But more likely is you're also not giving it enough time and enough touch points, and you're not going deep enough to connect to that person's current situation and let them know, I hear you, I see you, I understand you on a very deep level, and present whatever your offering is as a solution, as a helpful solution to where they're at in their life. You do that, you're going to make a crap ton of money online. This is going to grow into $1 trillion industry. This coaching, this online e-learning education, this is only growing rapidly. I would say that you have about a 3.5, 4 year peak period. Not to say after that you wouldn't still be making money, but there's about a 3.5, 4 year peak period where the time is now. And every day you delay from learning these skill sets, and every day you delay in building your community and your audience and your brand and building that trust and nurturing them, is another day that you are not making the big money you could make that I laugh about now. It's laughable. I wish someone told me, Tiffany, it's not that it's easy where you're doing nothing. Okay. Like that doesn't exist. It's that it's very simple and straightforward. And you have to be focused on a very, very few things. It's profitable content creation, visibility, marketing slash sales. And that's what I want to end with here. The profitable content. You have to be in the content game. I don't care what kind of business you have. My other company that focuses on medical health supplements, pharmaceuticals, all of that, they're in the content game. Even accounting firms. I have a luxury car wash, a tire shop. You have to be in the content marketing game now or you will lose. It is crazy not to be. It's like stupid crazy because it's stupid money and it can be stupid fun. But if you have such a high resistance to creating content and you can't find a way to find it delightful, to find it creatively intriguing, to find it fun, to find it satisfying, to find it gratifying, to help people, to serve people, to entertain people, to educate people, to enlighten people, to empower people through your content for your brand, then do not get into the making money online space whatsoever. Don't do it. Because you got to do this. Now, don't also tell yourself the story of, I don't want to live on my phone all day and I don't want to have to post 72 times a day. Are there some people teaching it that way? Yes, but that's not necessary. It's quality over quantity. But if you are not willing to post one great piece of content a day, you're not willing to do that. And let's just say it took you 2 hours, okay? Because you're learning and you're starting and you're slow at shit and your brain isn't functioning properly. You're not willing to take 2 hours, which is for your marketing, which is how you're going to get people to buy your stuff, which most of your time should be spent on marketing and selling your services and products. You should be spending a solid 70 to 80% of your time creating content and doing things to grow your audience, gain visibility, and have people learn and understand and like, know, and trust you and buy your shit. So if you are not wanting to put that much mental bandwidth and creativity and heart and energy into creating content of all forms, video, posts, emails, podcasts, whatever, you don't have to do all the things. I don't want you to do all the things. You don't need to have a podcast if you don't want to have a podcast. It won't work. You don't need to have a blog if you that sounds terrible to you, because it won't work, because people can feel that. But if you're not willing to do that and get excited about it and it feels so great doing it and keep doing it, even when the people aren't, coming as fast as you would like, especially in the beginning, you're not willing to keep doing it and feeding that content monster and feeding that content monster. This is not for you. This is not for you. And on the contrary, if you genuinely enjoy writing, you enjoy videos, you enjoy talking, you enjoy taking photos, you enjoy making people laugh, you enjoy educating people, this is for you. This is why I love, and I coach so many teachers, creatives, therapists, medical professionals of various kinds, healers, because you all already have that innate core desire to educate, to share information for the greater good. And that's all that we're doing here. And then we find a way that feels good to you, that you enjoy it. There's certain things I don't enjoy doing. There's some blog articles I have up there that are like older or whatever, but like, I don't, as of right now today, like that doesn't delight me. But then I know other people who love writing and love having a blog, and they make great money at it and they get a lot of leads from it. Then there's people who the thought of having a podcast sounds so overwhelming and so stressful, and coming up with ideas and interviewing people. That's okay. You don't have to do it. There's so many different ways to have touch points with your people. And I want it to be fun and I want it to feel easy to you. The hard part is showing up until it works, showing up when the money isn't flowing, when the people aren't coming yet. They are coming, but you give up or you course correct when you don't need to. You're over here zigging when you should have stayed zagging because you were uncomfortable, because you weren't liking the results, because you made up a story that wasn't coming from a qualified, seasoned professional like myself. I will tell you, and I will tell you right in the posse as well, for $3.33 a day. When we have our live trainings, if someone's like, okay, I've been doing this and it's not working, my first question is, for how long? How many times did you do this? They're like, well, I 3 times last week. 3 times? That ain't going to cut it. That doesn't mean there isn't a messaging problem in there, or there isn't a visual branding issue, or there isn't an energy issue, meaning your own internal stuff that gets in the way. So that doesn't mean that there isn't that going on too. But typically it's you're uncomfortable because I'm vulnerable. I've put myself out there this many times, Tiffany, and people aren't buying right away. And it's feeling so excruciating. So I'm going to take my foot off the gas now. That's a sure way you're not going to make money. You've got to be willing. And that doesn't mean I don't sometimes over here take a day or two to have a meltdown, regroup, and come back. That's okay too. We've got to make room for that. But you're taking your foot off the gas when you've not even allowed yourself to drive 100 miles. You got to be willing to drive 100 miles for this stuff and allow for divine timing and allow time to build for strangers on the interwebs to build like, know, and trust with you. Think about how long it can take to build trust with people, even in real life. Now, there's some people you can build trust with, especially with what I teach you with my emotional-based sales techniques. You can build trust with very quickly, right? There's people now all the time. You might be one of them listening off of one podcast episode, off of one TikTok video of mine. You're coming to a mastermind event of mine for $4,500. You're joining a program of mine. You're doing something of mine off of that. I'm a very seasoned, highly developed marketer and communicator, but I've invested in that time. I have a highly developed content muscle. This is why I teach it, right? So I don't want you to compare yourself to me. You will get there, and you'll get there a lot faster than I did because you have me telling you what to focus on and what to not waste your time on. This is absolutely worth it. I just wanted to paint the picture for you that you're not doing something wrong. It's not like you're not cute enough, or you're too old, or you too young, or people think you sound stupid, or no one values your expertise, or that you're not techie enough, or your graphics aren't cute enough. It's none of that. It's none of that. Okay. Just go think of all the products in this world that are making a fortune that are cheap and are crap because of great marketing. And I'm not saying I want you to create cheap, crappy things, but there's tons of books. There's tons of music artists. There's tons of painters. There's tons of designers that are incredible at what they do, but no one knows they exist. Therefore, there's no money in it. Therefore, there's no fame in it. There's no notoriety. There's no following because they've not been discovered. But don't wait for someone to discover you. The amazing power of social media and digital marketing is you position yourself where you being discovered is inevitable by the right people. You're in control of it. It's in your hands. That's why it's the best time in history to make money on your own terms in your own way, doing something that you love. Go sign up for the Secret Posse weekly digest so you can make sure you are one of the first 200 people to get my Make More, Work Less guided workbook course. Set an alarm in your phone because we will be sending out an email tomorrow and you want to grab that right away because I'm not doing something like that again. That's our special launch pricing. It's a limited drop. It would be insane for you to not do it. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. It would be absolute insanity. And it doesn't need to take months and months and years to change that messed up money algorithm that was trained starting at childhood. You can retrain the algorithm at any time in your head. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. I'm so excited for you to see it. Go leave a 5-star written review of the podcast. That really helps the show grow and get to more people. Let me know in the comments here on YouTube if you appreciated the honesty here in this episode. And are you fired up? Where are you at with it? Are you like, no, I get it now. I needed to hear that. That was validating. Thank you for cutting through all the noise. This helps me determine what else you guys want from this show and episodes. I'm doing this for you. It's a delight for me, but I'm here to serve you. So the more feedback you give of the show, it's super helpful. Go leave that 5-star written Apple podcast review. You can tap the 5 stars on Spotify. That's super helpful too. There's nowhere to leave a written review on there yet, but give a good old tap of the 5 stars. That goes a long way. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.